I ran across this meme on Facebook recently, and I think it is absolutely awesome for showing the difference between amateur marketers, I call them Muppet marketers, and true professional marketers. So much of the advice that you see out there in these Facebook groups is just straight Muppet. It is amateur level stuff, and I'm talking the stuff like duplicate your winning ad set and then increase your budget, and try making a new ad every day and test 100 different audiences and all that stuff. It is all such baloney, and I say that as somebody that's won a 2 Comma Club award, as evidenced by that 2 Comma Club award that I should be pointing to over my shoulder there, and I currently spend over 10 grand a day of my own money on Facebook ads. So let's break down this meme here and see what we can take away and come up with some key lessons that you can see are important between, or key lessons that matter that professional marketers apply, right? So this one up here, the Virgin Complicated Media Buying, this is what I would call a Muppet marketer, uses a consistent naming scheme. Nothing wrong with that. And then, quote, I think this IC plus ATC lookalike might outperform 95% VV. Okay, so this person's just testing all kinds of audiences, and you see this with Muppet marketers out there. They've got 20 different ad sets running, all to 20 different audiences, and subsequently, they're all very similar audiences. They do better, and we'll talk about this, they do better if they just grouped them all together and crank things up. 1 to 2%, 75% VV versus 2 to 3%, 75% VV, right? So this is comparing a 1 to 2% lookalike audience and a 2 to 3% lookalike audience. Tries to target better than Facebook. Again, creating so many little ad sets out there and saying, okay, we're going to take a list and we're going to exclude these people that didn't purchase over $50 from the list, and then we're going to target them, and yada, 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 and tries to target better than Facebook, essentially. Segments his ad sets by demographic and labels them. Nothing wrong with doing that. It's just when you've got, so many little detail things going on there that it, just ultimately kind of is Muppet level. It needs to use engagement gimmicks to win placement auctions. This is straight up Muppet amateur level marketing. And this is when somebody, runs an ad for, it's an ad that's supposed to be for conversions or something else, for later on, but they'll create the ad and then they'll run it using the post ID for engagements. And a lot of times people do this to like a lesser developed country, like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh or something, where nobody's advertising, so they get likes and crap for like 1 cent, and then they rerun the ad for conversions in their target market, and it's just got a bunch of likes on it. Straight up gimmick. I'll tell you that I run ads every day, not every day, but quite frequently I'll start brand new ads on a cold audience with the 0 likes, comments, and shares, drop them off at $1,000 a day, and they are profitable. Still loses auctions for best placement, even after his gimmicks is what that's referring to. Keeps testing the same shitty creatives. One thing I will say when it comes to testing creatives, just changing 1 or 2 words around in your ad copy ain't going to make a fucking difference. Right? Like, you really need to change things. If you're going to move the needle, if you're going to do something, if you're going to make a change, you need to move the needle, not just change a couple of words. That's what I'm saying. Fights for 1.79 ROAS. Well, that may or may not be good. I mean, if you're selling an info product or digital product that has no cost of goods sold, well, then a 1.79 ROAS is actually pretty freaking good. But relative to Mr. Chad down here, our boss marketer, 4.32 ROAS, yeah, not touching it. And then down here, let's get into Chad here. Chad, the broad targeter, I call him the boss. US, CA, Australia, UK, 30 plus nothing else. That's his audience that he's targeting. Freaking big, broad audience, millions and millions of people, tens of millions of people would be in that, hundreds of millions of people actually. Default name conversions copy to, literally no naming scheme. And I see this a lot in these types of ad accounts where people have like 20 ad sets, and because they have 20 ad sets, they have to, put a very organized naming structure. There's nothing wrong inherently with doing that. Again, the thing is just that they're kind of nitpicking things, right? His creatives intimidate inferior creatives out of placement auctions. Well, he uses good creatives, or better yet, he uses a strong offer. He's got an offer that somebody wants, right? Does no targeting himself. Lets Facebook do it for him. Okay, so he's running ads to this entire audience of hundreds of millions of people. He has an offer, that's coming from his creative, and people are taking it. People are taking the offer. And, by doing that, by converting and taking the offer, Facebook is finding more people in that huge pool that it wants to convert. And when you're doing these things, it might start off to where, in the beginning, you're getting a really high cost per conversion. And then in time, it goes down as it finds those people. And then when you've got an audience that size and you're getting high volumes of conversion, you use cost cap and all that. But that's a whole bunch of other stuff. Only that tracks the one thing that matters, conversions. Yes, conversions is the only thing that matters. And return on ad spend matters, and Facebook can target by that. So that would be another way of going. But little engagement gimmicks, link clicks, landing page views. I'm going to tell you, Chad doesn't look at those things at all. He cranks them up, lets them run for a few days, comes back, sees his conversions or his return on ad spend, and decides either it's going to keep running or he's really going to move the needle and do something. Doesn't even know what a lookalike audience is. Well, it's talking about the fact that he just goes broad and targets freaking everybody. Forgets about active campaigns for months. Still profitable. I love that one because these Muppet marketers right here, the amateur marketers, what they're doing is, and you see this, they're looking at their Facebook ads manager and refreshing it every 15 freaking minutes. I mean, more than that sometimes, every 5 minutes. And then they're like making changes, really quickly like that. And then maybe beyond that, maybe some of them will wait a day or a couple hours. But I see these posts all the time where somebody's like, yesterday my ad was converting I was getting sales for $15 each. My cost per conversion was $15 each. And now today already it's at $50, and I'm like looking at the time like it's 10 a.m. Just like leave it alone. You're not getting anything meaningful out of the data there. So, the longer you let Facebook do its thing, tracking the one thing that matters, optimizing for it, and, let Facebook do its targeting for you, the better it does, all right? So what can we take away from all this? What lessons can we learn so that you can move from being a Muppet marketer to a boss marketer? Well, first thing, have one defined conversion event. One defined conversion event. That is the one thing that matters. Only one thing that users can do on your page. A landing page was just that one thing. And I see a lot of people, this happens in the local business world, particularly home service companies. I own home service companies. That's primarily the breadwinner in my life. People will run these landing pages, not even landing pages, just pages on their website, sometimes their homepage, that has a million conversion events that are not tracked. And that's, I mean, the million conversion events is the problem. They need one that is tracked, right? So have one that is tracked and make it valuable. Now, here's something I'm going to share with you guys. Conditional conversion events. That is something that you can do if you're just going for lead generation, right? So if you're selling things, the conversion event is simply put your price, or not your price, but the sale. That is it. Somebody inputted their credit card. That's a strong conversion event. If you're going for leads, you can use a conditional conversion event to identify who the high quality leads are and then target those ones specifically. I'm going to put that down below in the description. So look for that on conditional conversion events. I got a whole video explaining how I do that. Okay. Number 2, let the algorithms do the work. They work. Google ads, pay-per-click, not Google ads, pay-per-click, yeah, Google ads, pay-per-click, but any of the Google ads, YouTube ads, which is part of Google ads, Facebook ads, they've all got very powerful algorithms. When you have one defined conversion event and it's valuable either by measure of a sale price or it's a conditional conversion event, so it's going to optimize for people that meet specific conversions, just pump the traffic to that page and let Facebook or Google ads do it. I don't quite go this broad. I don't go this broad usually when I'm starting them out. I might go down to one interest targeting and one interest targeting level only. I don't go, must meet this interest level and this interest and this interest and narrow them down. I typically crank new ads up to an audience of at least 30 million people. And finally, look at your ads on no less than a 7-day period, and that might even be too much. And I'm talking about this down here. Forget about active campaigns for months, still profitable, right? Don't be one of those people that's constantly refreshing your ads manager and trying to figure out what you can adjust, right? Set it, monitor it to make sure it works, and then forget about it. And your ads, when you turn them on, they could go 2 or 3 days, depending on your budget, without getting any conversion or something, So, I don't know where I draw the line, but let's just say metaphorically, I was expecting to I needed to get a $20 conversion. If I spent $200, over the course of 2 days and didn't get one conversion, I'd probably kill that, right? But if it's at 100, I'd let that run and burn it through a week. And, it's hard to do. I know it's hard to kind of sit through that pain. sit through that pain of losing and wasting money and not seeing those results immediately, but it ultimately works when, you know, you're going to let Facebook do the targeting for you and find people that are going to convert. So let me know your comments. Which one are you? Which one have you been and which one will you be? Are you a Muppet marketer right now and going to become a boss marketer after watching this video? Let me know in the comments below, guys. That's a wrap on this video. I'm signing off.